Hey guys, David Hughes. Welcome back. Theater Advice. So we're going to take a trip out to Prosper, Texas, which is actually where I live, and we're going to check out a house that we wired pre-sheetrock, so you can see some stuff that we do, kind of some standards we follow as a builder. What people don't know, and I don't share those names or anything, but we wire for 5 very large builders in Dallas. We wire 3,000 houses a year. So we do a lot of it, and we're very good at it. It's something that that's a big part of our business. But first I want to go through some design cues here in the showroom, because when we meet with clients, and the reason we're in the theater, oddly enough, is there's a client right now meeting out there with their house. Not everybody wants to be on YouTube, so we kind of came in here and I pulled this up on the screen. So when we get plans from a builder, we get plans, they look like this. And so they're kind of small sometimes, and we really, and it's very important to find somebody that designs houses for a living, to do your wiring. And I can't stress this enough. This is the most important part of your house, is going to be this part of it right here. You're going to have 2 worlds, okay? You're going to have a custom build world where the builder's like, do whatever you want, find your own guy, that kind of thing. Those kind of people come into me and say, hey, we can wire with whoever we want, and we get on the builder's insurance and we wire their house and we design it for them. More often than not, though, you're going to meet with some person in a cubicle, an electrician. These people that, I'm going to be honest with you, quite frankly, have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. So it's terrifying as a client to sit down with a person like that, and they're responsible now for wiring their house. And because the wiring you'd think is very easy, it isn't. So when we look at these houses, we actually go through these and we say, all right, I do a virtual walkthrough with my brain. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to walk through the house. I'm walking in and I virtually picture myself in this entryway, and I'm walking down and I take a left with my brain, and I'm like, all right, I'm looking at a wall. Sometimes there's a fireplace here, that kind of thing. One of the first design cues we tell people to do: wire 3 Cat6 to every television. Okay, so anywhere where you see on our plans, and every plan's different. Some people have words, some people have codes. Sometimes you got to get out the frickin' decoder ring from the 1950s to even understand what the hell they're talking about. But we use colors. So all the speakers are green. Rectangle green is in wall, circle green is in ceiling. Anything network is yellow, from cameras to television jacks, phone jacks, that kind of thing. Purple is going to be wireless access points in the ceiling. I didn't keep them yellow just to not confuse people, because they're in the ceiling. My guys, when they wire, know to look for those cues. Orange is conduit, and the conduit's actually orange in real life. That's for fiber internet in the future. So let's just kind of run through this. The first thing we do is we try to find some place for the structural wiring panel. So that's going to be a place in the wall where all your network jacks and stuff like that kind of go. Now, whoever this client was, I personally would not have wired it this way. I would have wired, because you've got your media room and house audio here. They chose it. We do not recommend that. So I can already tell that, this went off the rails a little bit, like they did whatever they wanted, which is fine. Panels here, so all your network stuff's here, but all your audio stuff's here. So, we've got 3 network jacks here, but you might use them all. So I don't love this idea. It makes them buy a cabinet they might want, that kind of thing. I usually tell everyone, put it in a closet. I would have found some closet somewhere in here to to definitely use as like a rack closet, even a small 15U rack, $700. No big deal. Put all your stuff in there, all your Sonos, your networking gear, your NVR for your cameras, that kind of thing. But again, to each their own. We don't own these houses. A lot of these comments that I get from people on YouTube are crazy, because they're like, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? It's like, because of the client. We deal with clients, that we do what the client wants. It's their money. So that's why we didn't do it. And this is a perfect example. The rest of the house is wired really good. They got patio speakers. Again, 3 Cat6 to the patio. Let me explain why that is. You need 2 minimum, 3 in our world minimum, at every TV location where there's audio. The reason I say that is there's a part now called a B260 ARC. And even if you have a Sonos amplifier or something simple like that literally, almost people have for their whole house audio these days, that Sonos amplifier has an ARC and HDMI ARC input on it, okay? So what you need is, again, I'm gonna say it, I said it in my receiver video a little while ago, if there's a hole, put a wire in the hole. So you're going to plug the TV in for control and internet, that way you're not streaming Wi-Fi. You're going to plug in the source. So let's say you're an Apple TV guy or a Roku guy. You want to plug that in too, plug it in. Your third one is used to feed the audio back to here. So, the audio needs to go back where the where the amplifiers live. So, you know, that's the whole deal there. So, you know, you want to be able to tell the customer yes. That's what I always say when I wire. If you wire 3 Cat 6s, I don't have to tell you no later when you're trying to do something. Can I listen to these speakers? Can I listen to the TV sound through these speakers? If you have enough Cat 6 there, yes. So that's the deal. So 3 Cat 6 to any TV location that has speakers in it. A place like a secondary bedroom, that kind of thing, you only need 1 or 2 probably. 1 is maybe fine, but again, master bedroom, we've got 3. We've got some audio there. So we've got audio in the master bath. We've got audio in the garage because they like to chill in the garage apparently. We've got a 9-channel theater, which is phenomenal. You know, good location on all the speakers, nice separation and everything there. They're probably going to sit in this realm here, you know, pulled off the back a little bit. Nice long theater. You know, we've home runned everything to the theater. We've got notes all over it and things like that for our guys, for the builders. I mean, this world is so detailed, man. You really have to please everybody, and so you have to put as many notes on there as possible. Height locations of TVs that are not supposed to be hammer height, that kind of thing. So this is what a plan looks like when we sit down with a client. At the end, we're done, and you know, and you've got that plan. And then this particular floor plan. Sorry, when that blinks, it means the door opened. So again, bonus room, 3 Cat 6 and some speakers. Bedroom 5 has some speakers in it. They're either using that as a secondary study, gaming room for the kids. I mean, a lot of reasons. They've got 2 speakers there. The reason we do them in the rear, by the way, too, this is a really cool way to save money, is in a room like this, we'll go, hey, if you put 2 speakers in the middle, that's fine. You can just use them for stereo. If you pop them over the seating, though, or the bed or whatever, now you can go Sonos soundbar or Sonos Arc wireless sub. That's your front 3, the sub. Now those are your rears. Right? If you just want to use them for stereo audio for music or TV, that's fine. Having them over your head actually sounds really good. So you can go 2-channel, you can go 5-channel, you can do whatever the hell you want as long as you wire them a little bit to the rear. In this particular one, they're probably doing pool table. They don't need surround sound. They're never going to need it. So we put them over here. If we go back to the master bedroom, and I didn't design this one, but same thing. You put them over the bed on that fur down right there. It's really cool because now Sonos Arc, you know, now you can put 5.1 in the bedroom, and all you wired is 2 speakers, but you have the option to go 5.1 in there. So it's all about options. It's all about thought. You got to find somebody that puts in the thought. We're going to think about how we wire your house, and we're going to give you recommendations. You might not take them. You might not like something or whatever, but you know, we're going to place cameras around good locations, vantage pool. This is a pool vantage. This is break-in patio view. We've got front left, front right for garage. That way you can see the whole street. We've got a door station there for like wired, like Elite Cam or like the new Control 4 door camera. So now that you've kind of seen how we set up wiring, man, we can answer some questions. I design wiring for homes all over the nation. There's a fee to do that if I just design that and give it to you. Sometimes we end up doing the whole project depending on where it is and we can get there and if the scale's enough. But I'm happy to design plans for anyone in the nation that wants to make sure it is fully thorough and I've thought of everything. I do stuff like speakers in the pool bathroom, such a badass thing to do. People are having a pool party and they go in there and there's music in there. So I'm gonna think about all those things, and now that you've seen this, let's go check out some houses in sticks. Hey, we're gonna bring you into a house that we just wired. Can't say the builder's name or anything like that. But the first thing we do is this builder does a doorbell standard, and this is gonna be like a learning experience and something funny, I hope. I don't know what parata means, but I bet it means up and down or vertical. And then we run the wires through here. So they've got the regular doorbell wire here, and then we run a Cat 6. In this, the Elite doorbell from Ring actually can go inside of it. It's like a flush doorbell instead of the ugly, stupid stick one that sticks on the outside. So it's super custom, but let me tell you what's gonna happen. 50% of the time, nobody's gonna read that, and they're gonna put it like this, and then they're gonna call me and tell me that doorbells go horizontal. And I'm gonna go, no, have you ever seen a doorbell horizontal in your life? And then we're gonna argue about it, and then they're gonna cut it out and fix it, because it's like, happens to me 200 times a year. So that's one of the fun calls I get to have. So this is actually the house that we just went over at the showroom in the plan. So you'll see we got a wired study jack. We use all low voltage plates. Nothing crazy, but what I will tell you, and we'll talk about it soon, is that, and this is for any builders that are watching, you should have your companies wire what's called high and tight. And that's how we wire. We respect our builders and their homes. We also don't want to have service calls. So as you see up here, any wire you see here is all Romex. So all of that's just electrical. Electricians never wire high and tight, so that's fine. What that means is if you look up there near that ductwork, our wires are tied to that, zip tied up high over your head as you walk up there. Hopefully be real careful if you walk up there. But any wire you see in this house by us is not sitting on the floorboard. So it's not gonna get pinched. It's not gonna get destroyed. It's up high and tight, nice and clean, not on the floorboard. So that's just theater advice standards that I've taught my guys. As we come in the media room, simple media room, 9-channel, nothing crazy about this media room, but it's wired right. We've got, you know, probably a 10-foot stack here. I love having extra wire. Extra wire is always better than not enough wire. So it's all put, you know, very carefully in between the studs here. They'll be able to drag that right out of there really easily. It's tied very, very simply with only a single Cat 6. So you can literally just reach up, pop it, drag it out. You have enough wire to go within your cabinet or whatever you want down here. They actually wired the home run here in the front. We've also got Cat 6 lines coming from the 3 audio zones with TVs. Extra wires run here as well so that you can backfeed that audio to Sonos amplifiers like I talked about. This particular theater is wired for a projector or a TV. It's ready for the 85-inch, which I think is sad and too small for this wall, and a projector. So we've got conduit going all the way up and over, run to the projector. We actually go as far as putting wood and things like that where we know a projector needs to be. That projector is gonna almost touch the back wall. It's far, it's gonna be tucked back, it's perfect. Too many times these lazy AV installers follow the electrical, and the electric guys will put it right here or right here because they don't know what the hell they're doing. My guys will actually yank that off the board, send it back there. They'll even go get a 2x4 and put a structure there if there's not structure, so that we have a normal mounting place for our projector. So we know framing, we know what we're looking at, we put it in the right place. If it's not in the right place, we move it. All front walls in theaters, please, for the love of God, AV people, zigzag your wires. Do not put a wall plate right here. This stud is not equidistant from studs over there. The speaker's not gonna look good. It's not gonna be centered. Use zigzag technique every single time. I can cut a hole here, 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 wherever, put a floor standing speaker, okay? You wanna give your clients options. Not zigzagging is lazy, and you're only screwing yourself and your client. Because if the clients even wants in-walls, they're not gonna be where they want, okay? So it's a lazy, lazy way to wire. Zigzag, box the floor, zigzag, box the floor, all the way down. Choose your best location. I now have a way higher chance of getting my speaker to the right or the left of this stud bay to get it equidistant off of the TV edge. So I'm just giving myself higher chances of success. We've got Dolby Atmos about 30 degrees forward of ear of a normal seating position in this room. Side speakers, you know, just kind of coiled. Nice and high. I mean, this is standard. The builders are going to ask for this, but you know, we can always drop them to ear level and patch a wall plate later on or whatever. But those are all measured around ear level and things like that. But that's how to properly wire a theater. Those are the little cues to look for: moving power, really finding the best place for power. You know, living rooms like this, super tricky. I don't even know what we did. So we've got the speakers here. Nice flat ceiling, so it's fine. You know what we do a lot is these ceilings in Texas, a lot of times the living room part, it goes all the way to the second floor, and the kitchen actually drops down. So what we actually do is we'll wire the rears for the kitchen over the island. And I know it sounds silly because they're too far back, but I'm telling you right now, way too often do I see these in-walls 15, 16 feet high above all the headers on the back wall facing forward. Guess what? Your ear's not gonna hear that speaker there. Your ear is actually gonna hear that speaker bounce off the front wall and hit your ear before you ever hear it as a rear. So it's actually a complete garbage location for it. It's lazy, it just means that people are doing whatever they want and not actually thinking about where this will sound better. If I've got a speaker over this island, we didn't wire it here because we've got this flat ceiling, but let's say it's one of these vaulted ceilings, which is just super common. I put my speakers back here. You're sitting over there. You're going to hear these speakers as rears. You're going to hear these as surround sound. Not only that, now I would switch over to music, either a 5-channel stereo receiver, you know, something like that, where you kick it into 5-channel stereo. We're using the Sonos, whatever you're going to use. Now, when we play music, I've now stretched that music back here, so it doesn't need to be as loud over there to play in your living room area, your dining area, that kind of thing. So we just do things different with some thought behind it. We've zigzagged the center channel. We've gone high on the fronts, and that could have been a request from a client. Like I said, we usually zigzag, so when I see stuff like that. Out here, same thing. We've got 3 Cat6 and a 4th one pulling back to the theater for the audio. Centered, directly centered speakers with the ceiling fan. Nice patio. Nothing crazy, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's important to see some of this stuff because I want people to see studs. When people frame houses, it's very important for people to understand. They do not frame the house and even care 1% of what your speakers are gonna look like, where they're gonna go, how far they're off the TV, whether they're equidistant from walls. They don't care if it looks like shit. They don't care. So, and they shouldn't care. They're here to frame the house. We can come in though and give people a better chance of putting stuff where it needs to go by using certain wiring techniques. So, find an AV company that's not going to do it the lazy way. Tell them to use zigzag techniques. I mean, it's not foreign to them, but sometimes you just kind of have to babysit them and kind of have to push them a little bit to do those things right, I think. So this is a house we wired. Again, one of 3,000 a year. And, we turn and burn. I think we do, hundreds of houses a month, obviously, 300 houses a month or so. It gets really wild, a lot of paperwork, things like that. A little less problematic when they put the doorbell vertical or parada or whatever that word was. And, keep watching. Hope you like videos like this. Hope this helps somebody build in a house because honestly, it's super important. Call us if you have any questions or anything like that. And again, contact us if you want us to help you design your wiring, and like and subscribe and all of the other YouTube-y things that we need to continue to do this. Thanks.